Welcome to another episode, everyone. Let me take you back to the Los Angeles County Jail where Sodi from Gangsta put another Crip individual to bed. He knocked him out cold, but the Crip was not a coward. He squabbled up with young Sodi from Gangsta. As I've said before, the Los Angeles County Jail is replete, surrounded with mischief and violence, constant violence. Everyone in there is prone, if you are a gang member, to violence. You must stand up for yourself, build a name for yourself, and let everyone know that you are willing to fight no matter what. This is just the nature and the atmosphere of the Los Angeles County Jail. And their newborn Sodi was indeed a beast. He had many squabbles. He used to hang out with So What from Avalon. I remember them being pretty tight. But there were times when little Sodi, rest in peace, was in a module as well with newborn Sodi. And we were all there together. At this particular juncture, little Sodi was not there. This was newborn Sodi, who again was a strong stand-up individual, but he was rather young. But in the Los Angeles County Jail, individuals have a propensity to cultivate their reputation. Right there in the Los Angeles County Jail, you can build your reputation by putting in work and putting people to bed. Individuals oftentimes understand this. They're on the 4,000 floor where this transpired. It was sort of hard, if I'm being honest, for me even to keep a handle on these young, wild individuals there in the module. Everyone had something going on. I'm trying to run the module, de-escalate situations, decrease the violence. Everyone had a situation going on. Little newborn Sodi constantly into it with individuals. But he's standing up and standing tall. An individual there, he was. I don't remember. I don't recall what Crip gang he was from. One of these small hoods, one of these little rinky-dink hoods, if you will, liquor store Crip, around the corner Crip, something like that. But let's call him C-Down. He was a down individual. He was small, dark-skinned, but he had a little size. He had been to prison before, I do recall. He and I had a conversation or two about this, and he tended to mind his own business. Sodi would oftentimes call everyone gangster. What's up, gangster? What's up, gang? What's up, gangster? He from Gangsta. This is just how he used to talk. He was very young, and he was very active. He was engulfed in the gang culture. I mean, he loved his hood, represented it to the fullest, and I've met many individuals like this. I mean, he walked around turned up. He had a certain gangster walk, a certain look. He'd give you a certain look. He's testing you, really. And if he sees you look down or look away or whatever, he's going to think that you're weak. Chances are he's going to test you further. Many individuals put you through these sort of tests. Since Sodi had a habit of calling individuals gangster, what's up, gangster? What's up, gangster? He called C-Down gangster one day right there in the day room. I believe that it was harmless coming from Sodi. I don't believe that he meant anything by it. Again, this is just his vernacular. Nevertheless, for whatever reason, on this particular occasion, C-Down, he didn't appreciate it. So he told Sodi right there in front of all of us, bro, I'm not a gangster. I'm from Whoop-de-Whoop Crip, liquor store Crip. You keep on saying gangster, keep on gangstering me and all that. I mean, I ain't got no problem with the gangsters. Yeah, it might be prudent for you to say that because it's a day room full of gangsters. And these individuals, again, are the wild bunch. They're running around wrecking the module. This individual, C-Down, has not been there in the module that long. Apparently, he doesn't understand the politics, but I mean, this is how he feels. He's not a gangster. He doesn't want this individual referring to him as gangster. And again, Sodi would just say, hey, what's up, gangster? What up, gangster? What up, cuz? You know, to everyone. So when he says that, hey, bro, I'm not a gangster. Everyone paused, first of all. The whole day room fell silent because it's full of gangsters. And they're all like in shock. What the hell did this dude just say? This dude from around the corner crib, this dude tripping. So Sodi said, what? Bro, this ain't Trey Gang. He turned up immediately. Sodi. He turned into a demon. Immediately. Said, what cut? Man, this ain't Trey Gangsta crib. You know, he balled like, did like that. Like I said, oh, he finna punch this dude out, bro. I didn't see him. I didn't see him in action more than once. He was prone to losing his temper at times. And challenging him, if you're not ready, is not conducive to good health. Because he tended to black out for his game. He turned up immediately. Hey, Trey Gangsta crib. What you mean? You got a problem with gangster? Then the other gangsters, they all converge over there. So Sodi tell them, bro, I got this. I got this, dude. What's up, bro? So Sodi was already done talking. I'm really surprised that he didn't fire him up right there, because this is what he'll normally do. Sodi said, bro, get down. We got to get down. That's it. That's it. He ain't had nothing. He was done talking. That's all old boy said. So he's like, bro, we got to get down. Get down. Like, get down for yours. We got to get down. Get down, homie. Let's go. Get down. So old boy, like, sit down. He wasn't a coward, as I said, which is why he said what he said to Sodi. Clearly, he wasn't a coward. Their room was full of these individuals, but he still stood on what he believed. So he's like, bro, I ain't really got no problem with you like that. Like I said, is what C-Down saying. I don't really have no problem with you like that, bro. I'm not turning down no squabble or whatever. I'm just saying, everybody's not from gangster. You got a habit of saying that. I'm from whoop-de-whoop. You know, I don't address you from my hood language. Sodi just looking at him. Sodi's done talking. He's like, bro, we got to get down. Get down. So he like, all right, man, okay. So Sodi like, well, we go in the cell and get down. We go in the cell and get down. So he tell me, Sodi, like, bro, get us in the cell. Get us in the cell right now. We got to squabble right now, bro. We got to squabble right now. Sodi later told me that the only reason, because I'm thinking, yeah, he finna fire him up right then and there. Sodi later told me that the only reason that he did not is because he knew that if he fired him up right then and there, that some other gangsters that were there in the day room were going to get involved. It's going to be a bloodbath. They were going to stomp this individual out. He knows that. And it's more than likely true, even if Sodi was already getting the best of him. If he didn't need anyone's help, they still would have helped. Just because that's really just the gang culture. Not going to sit back and watch a young homie squabble up with a dude. Sometimes it happens like that. But right there in that sort of environment, it could have went all bad for him. Sodi, really being a good guy at heart, trying to save this individual. Said, bro, we'll go to the cell squabble. Baby, if I beat you down right here, the homie's going to jump in and kick your face in. Like, all right. I tell him, get us out the day room, tell the police, crack the cell. Crack old boy's cell. See them. They gonna go up in there and squat. The police know what's going on. They right there in the tower. It's only us three leaving the day room. And I'm telling him to pop the cell so them two can go in there as I stand right there on the tier, the police right here, and they go inside the cell. This is just prevalent there in the Los Angeles County Jail. This is regular routine. Nothing to see here, folks. Police crack the cell. They go in there. They don't waste any time. They both throw up their dukes. Now, and Sodi, he rushed in first. He's aggressive. This is what he's prone to do. He's gonna get in there. So he in there. Sodi, he's a young dude. He's a big dude. He's not big. He's not huge, but he's sort of tall, and he has a little weight on him for sure. He's been in there squabbling, and again, the more you fight, the more you're going to enhance your skills. Even if you're losing these fights, not that Sodi was, but whatever, you're going to learn. You're going to become a better fighter the more you fight. And these dudes in the Los Angeles County Jail, they're in there fighting every day. It's like for sport. So Sodi, he got skills. Liquor store Crip ain't been fighting nobody. C-Down ain't been squabbling. But he got heart. So they in there. Boom, 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 boom. They squabbling. And C-Down, he's holding his own. I'm standing right there. It's just me and it's just them two in there. And they in there going at it. Then I started to think to myself, okay, C-Down, liquor store Crip, he's not about to last that much longer. He has heart. He's holding his own, but he's smaller than Sodi. And I can see Sodi is more skilled and he's more powerful. And I'm thinking, and he's going for the knockout. Sodi's going for the knockout. You can see he's throwing Hail Mary. He's throwing haymakers. He's trying to put this dude to bed. I'm thinking, as soon as one of these things connect, it's over for this little dude. It's a wrap. And I was right. Lo and behold, as they going boom, 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 I remember Sodi getting up in there. He got close up in there and hit him with a left, basically an uppercut. Bam! And dropped him. Oh boy, knees buckled. Bam! He just hit the ground. I was, oh man. You just heard a thud. When Sodi hit him, bam! You just heard a smack and then silence. I said, I've heard this sound before. And it's not pretty. He down there on the ground, and it's all bad. And I told Sodi, bro, Sodi, bro. Because he done blacked out. You know how the UFC fighters, after they knock you down, they already knocked dude over there knocked out cold, and they still run over there and get on top of you and start, because you got to pull you up off of you, pull an individual, the fighter up off the dude that's down there unconscious, because he's still down there pounding on his head, even though he's unconscious and defenseless. I see one of those massacres in the making. Because dude is down there immobile, and Sodi is rushing towards him now, finna get on top of him. And I had to yell, Sodi. He looked at me almost in a daze like he didn't know who I was for a second. Dude done blacked out. I said, bro, that's it. He's like, oh, okay, all right, bro, all right. Gangsta. He trying to get the dude up, basically trying to help him. I told the police, hit the cell. I ran in there, we had to wake the dude up. But he squabbled. He got up, eventually it took a few minutes. Told Sodi going back to the day room, bro. I told old boy, stay in the cell. You just stay here in your cell for a little while. You're not coming back to the day room. Sleep this thing off or something. You all right? You need medical or whatever? I did ask him to make sure. But he was okay. He earned my respect. He squabbled up for sure. That's all it was. But there was many squabbles that that Sodi had, and little Sodi. I mean, I'm gonna have to get into some of this other stuff that went on in there, man. Some of it I haven't spoke on, I haven't wanted to. Some of it's real crazy. Some of the stuff that was going on in some of these modules. But we'll see. Shout out to newborn Sodi. Rest in peace to little Sodi. Shout out to C-Down from Liquor Store Crip. He squabbled up. He stood on business. From start to finish, really. Because not many people, first of all, were inclined to stand up to Sodi first. Then, him being right there in the day room, outnumbered. I mean, if Sodi would have got off on him, they would have packed him out. I would have had to try to stop it at some point, but the damage would have been done. But with all of that in mind, he still told Sodi, bro, don't gangster me with gangsters all up in there. And he said that right to Sodi's face. So, he was strong. He was no coward. And then he went down there and squabbled up. And was squabbling. They was going at it for a minute before he hit the ground. I just knew eventually he was going to hit the ground because the way he was fighting was untenable. It could not be sustained because Sodi was too powerful and Sodi was too aggressive. He kept getting in there and swinging hard, trying to knock the dude out. He was trying to put him to bed. But he stood up and fought. So I respect him. Stay out of there. Stay safe and stay free, people.